It's being called the single greatest political comeback in history. We've simply never seen anything like it. Last night, the entire world witnessed the establishment, the deep state, the swamp, the legacy media, brutally and overwhelmingly defeated. And we're going to see just how decisive that defeat was. Greetings, everyone. It's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, but I don't know if I have a job title anymore. My job has been to keep you sane during these insane times, but the glorious, bright morning of sanity has finally dawned on our nation, and it was my honor, absolute honor, for these last 4 years to help you stay sane in the midst of so much now defeated insanity. Before we dive into things here, let's give a huge shout out to one of our sponsors who make these videos possible, and that's Liver Health Formula. If you're one of the 100 million Americans struggling with all the weight gain and loss of energy that comes with a fatty liver, these Patriots are going to be your very best friend. Liver Health Formula is an all-natural supplement. It contains 12 clinically proven botanicals that help recharge and protect your liver. It's manufactured right here in the USA, and it's approved by independent American doctors. And if you click on that link below, you can try Liver Health Formula and receive a free bottle of blood sugar formula when you order today. So don't let a fatty liver keep you sluggish and inactive, gang. As many of you know, this is personal for me. I myself lost over 60 pounds. I could say it was one of the best decisions I ever made, and now it's your turn. Click on that link below or go to getliverhelp.com/Turley and claim your free bonus gift. That's getliverhelp.com/Turley.
Thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president. And to every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day, I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have.
You heard it. After 4 long, dark, oppressive years, a new American golden age has dawned. So I ask you, how does it feel to be unburdened by what has been? I just love this meme, gang. I love this meme. That's me walking into the coffee shop to order from the purple hair they, them this morning. I think that strut describes all of us. We all feel like a massive, oppressive burden has finally been lifted from ourselves and from our nation. Let's go over some of the stats from yesterday because they are impressive, to say the least. It was an astonishing win. Wasn't even close. At the end of the day, this will dwarf what Trump accomplished back in 2016, which was an amazing election in and of itself. Let's start with the popular vote, the elusive popular vote. Trump won the popular vote outright. First Republican to win the popular vote since George W. Bush in 2004. And then before him, no one had won it since his daddy back in 1988. No Republican had won it since 1988. Trump won 71 million votes, or 51%. Harris only won 66 million. I mean, it was an absolute blowout. Again, it wasn't even close. Trump won with a 3.5 margin with nearly 4 million votes to spare. Kind of makes you wonder what happened to those 20 million votes we saw in 2020 for Biden. Doesn't it? 83 million? What happened? It's a lot of votes to just disappear into thin air, huh? Maybe the media is going to get to the bottom of that. Yeah, well, we could care less. The media, the legacy media, is so flipping irrelevant at this point. We'll fix our elections as part of the dawn of this new golden age. When all is said and done, It looks like President Trump won 312 electoral college votes, 6 more than he won in 2016. It looks like the GOP took back the Senate with at least 54 seats, and the Republicans are on track to gain in the House. In the process, we defeated a $1 billion campaign. We defeated Hollywood. We defeated big tech. We defeated big business, and it wasn't even close. Take a look at this. Those of you who were wondering whether New Jersey was in play this year, gang, Harris won Jersey by just 5. Mid-single digits. Let that hit you. 51-46. Rich Barris, our good friend who needs to do a much-deserved victory lap today. He was one of the single most accurate pollsters out there, along with Mark Mitchell, our other good friend from Rasmussen. Barris was talking about this in the wee hours last night. Jersey is on its way to turning red. You can mark that. You can write that down. The working class realignment, the Latino realignment, it's going to all take Jersey with it, as well as Connecticut, New Mexico, Minnesota. That's what we can see. Those are the states that we can see flip in a matter of 4 years from now. They're all down now in the single digits, one big election away to flip them for an entire generation. This realignment has already taken Nevada with it. Trump is on course to win Nevada by 4 to 5 points. It's not even close. I mean, again, swinging the other way. That would be a 6 to 7 points shift from 2020. No Republican presidential candidate has won Nevada in 20 years, since 2004. Biden won Latinos by 32 points in 2020. Harris won them by just 8. It was a total collapse in the Latino vote. And while Biden won 18 to 29-year-old voters by 24 in 2020, Harris won them by just half of that, by 13. The Democrats' identity politics coalition has collapsed. It has imploded right before our very eyes. That latter demographic is so key. This is what we've been seeing in Europe, with the strongest nationalist populist support throughout the continent coming from 18 to 29-year-olds. Marine Le Pen of France gets her strongest support from this age group. Giorgia Meloni of Italy, the Vox Party of Spain. We could go on. And it completely contradicts what's called the cultural backlash thesis. For you political nerds, the cultural backlash thesis argues that the only reason why Trump and these European national populists around the world are winning is because it's the last hurrah of an old dying white male order. Old dying white men hate this new world of woke identity politics, this new progressive world inevitably rising around them because, we all know that everyone under the age of 30 is totally woke and totally progressive, right? And so these old white dying men are voting for the most extreme radical right candidates to push back against the inevitable sea change. But don't worry, they'll eventually all die off like they deserve to. And then we can all enjoy this wonderful new progressive age unencumbered. And that thesis would be fine if it weren't for the inconvenient fact that it's wrong in every possible conceivable way. Most especially the fact that young people, the assumption that young people are progressive. Gen Z is the most conservative generation we have on record, and they get more conservative with every year they age, and they proved it once again yesterday. Circling back to Latinos, take a look at this. You're going to love this. Remember, we've been talking about the Latino realignment. Look at this. Trump won Michigan Latinos by 25 points. Trump won Michigan Latinos by 25 points. The dam has broken in Michigan. He won Michigan Latinos 60 to 35. Absolutely stunning. We also had, if I recall, where was it from last night? Michigan? Wisconsin? Oh, I can't remember. It may, yeah. But we have black men going 30 points for Trump. Black men going 30, under the age of 50, going 30 points to Trump in one of the exit polls. Again, just an incredible realignment. Our good friend Jack over at Red Eagle Politics points out that Trump outperformed in the suburbs. He flipped back states Republicans thought were permanently gone after 2020. He won the popular vote. He won a record total of Hispanics. He won Texas by double digits. So much for Texas turning blue. So much for Texas turning blue. Trump won Texas by freaking 15 points. And he did all this with a very high turnout electorate. Again, this is one of the arguments that we've been making now for months, as Rich Barris has done as well, that Trump stood to gain if the electorate was larger. In other words, Trump was the first Republican that we've seen, I think, ever, that stood to gain the larger the electorate was, because low to no prop voters that voted in only one of the last four elections or none of the last four elections, so one or none voters, they were supporting Trump overwhelmingly. And again, because they finally have someone to vote for. They've been tuning. It's the same thing we saw in the Brexit vote back in 2016. They were tuning out of politics because they were tuning out of this decrepit, rotten, corrupt establishment. I can't tell you how many of these low to no prop voters I've talked to over the last several years who feel like that the establishment has nothing to offer them whatsoever. This disgusting establishment, whether it's Republicans or Democrats, it doesn't matter. They have so pathetically alienated themselves from the values, interests, and concerns of the people that the people have simply tuned out of the political process, which, by the way, the establishment is just fine with. They are just fine with that. But then you bring in someone like Trump. You bring in an outsider, an avenger, a bootlegger, as some would say. Boom. These no prop to no low prop voters show up en masse. The bigger the electorate, the more Trump wins. This is an absolutely sustainable, multi-generational electorate. And we saw that yesterday. To bring that hope, take a look at this.
Are there any places that the vice president is overperforming Joe Biden in 2020? So we could show you that as well. We just bring that out here. Harris overperforming 2020.
Holy smokes.
There you go. So let this go away and see if there's anything on the east side there.
Literally nothing?
Literally nothing.
Literally not one county?
By 3% or more.
There are 3,144 counties, including Louisiana's parishes, in America, and Kamala failed to outperform Biden in a single one. Not one. That's how dominant this election was for President Trump. A few takeaways, two in particular, from all this, and we'll wrap it up. And we're going to go on. Our next video will be on the legacy media having an absolute glorious meltdown. Ooh, time to drink some liberal tears. The first takeaway, the key takeaway, is yesterday is the official beginning of the new political realignment of our nation. We saw it in seed form, in nascent form back in 2016, but yesterday we saw it in a fully mature, ready to fight form. In fact, some are calling it the normie realignment. A solid majority of all Americans, Americans of every race, every ethnic group, every religion, and every region of the country, a coalition of simply we the people, with no bitterness towards each other, no resentment, no hatred, no vitriol, just a common love for decency, for faith, and for the American dream. It's the normie realignment. Alonda Newhouse refers to this as the brokenest coalition. It's a diverse coalition of citizens who see our public institutions as incurably broken and rotten and are in desperate need of outside intervention for their restoration. The establishment, the legacy media, academia, federal bureaucrats, they are simply they no longer have the resources in themselves to fix the very problems that they themselves have created. And so we need to turn to outsiders, to bootleggers, to avengers, as it were, to come in and fix what the insiders have broken. That was Trump's closing message to his absolutely brilliant campaign. They broke it. I'll fix it. It was absolutely brilliant. So that's the first major takeaway. A new political realignment, a normie realignment of brokenists has finally taken political power, and they have no intention whatsoever of releasing that power anytime soon. And that leads us to the second takeaway. And it's implied in the first. Yesterday, the nation finally and overwhelmingly rose up against the obnoxious and obscene woke left. That small, putrid, vitriolic, tiny minority of the most miserable, psychopathic people on the planet were soundly and decisively defeated. This new MAGA coalition, this coalition of normies, rose up yesterday and stormed the dank, rotting castle of the woke left. And in no uncertain terms, we politically conquered them. We voted for a man, indeed an entire team of Avengers, who have pledged to close the border and enforce mass deportations, who promised to drill, baby, drill and awaken our energy and economic independence, and most importantly, have pledged to drain the swamp and completely dismantle the deep state. Go, Bobby Kennedy, go. And in the process, to finally end this horror, this epidemic, this insanity of woke madness. That is what our nation rose up and voted for yesterday. And that is why today is the beginning of the rest of our lives. This is nothing less than the dawning of a new American golden age.